Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another news update from Americans for Limited Government. Can you believe that even after President Joe Biden strongly condemned the Palestinian attacks on Israel as, quote, sheer evil, there are still people on the left and in the media trying to portray the Palestinians as justifiable militants? Unbelievable, right? Well, I have a powerful clip for you today from the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, where he puts anyone trying to downplay the atrocities committed by Hamas in their place. It's something you really need to see. But here's the thing. It's not just individuals defending the Palestinians. Look at what happened at Harvard University. More than 31 student groups came together and put out a joint statement blaming Israel for all the atrocities. And guess what? The leadership at Harvard stayed silent for 2 whole days, making it seem like they approved those claims. Finally, yesterday, the president of Harvard, Claudine Gay, released a statement condemning the Hamas terrorists. Took her long enough. Now let's turn our attention to Jonathan Greenblatt, the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, who appeared on MSNBC this week. He has some really important things to say about the attempts to downplay the evil actions done by Hamas. You definitely want to catch this.
Tell us, if you will, just what these last few days have been like for you and why it's so important that you are appearing here today with the Reverend Sharpton.
Well, so I will be honest and maybe a little more vulnerable than I normally would be. These have been some of the hardest days of my adult life. I don't ever remember a moment like this. I have family in Israel right now under siege and being deployed to the front lines. I have staff who can't locate their family. I have friends who are gone. And I think Ambassador Danone put it well in a context that Americans can understand 9/11, the evil that was perpetrated here. But the scale, Jonathan, the right comparison is Nagasaki. This was like an atomic bomb. And as 40,000 people were killed in Japan when they dropped that bomb in Nagasaki, so too were the hundreds upon hundreds of people who were killed in Israel. And so while I am sad and trying to cope, I'll be honest, I am angry. I am angry with the world that allowed the dehumanization of Israelis and sanitized the terrorism of Hamas. I must say, I love this show and I love this network. But I've got to ask, who is writing the scripts? Hamas, the people who did this, they are not fighters, Jonathan. They are not militants. And I'm looking right at the camera. They are terrorists. It is a barbarian who rapes and brutalizes women, who kills children in front of their parents, and then brings them over to Gaza, who literally, we've heard all these reports, and we know these aren't just reports. These were filmed gleefully by the barbarians who committed these grotesque crimes. They filmed, for example, an elderly woman in her home in one of these towns. They burned her alive in her house because she was too infirm to take out. And, parading women bleeding from the crotch because they were raped throughout Gaza while people hoot and holler and cheer. So look, when we say, oh, this was an escalation, it was bound to happen, I am sorry. This was a massacre that was pre-planned. This was not destined to happen. It is not normal to shoot teenagers in the back, hundreds of them. So I just think, guys, get this story right. And all these pictures of missiles or the rubble in Gaza, please talk to the Israeli mothers and fathers who lost their children. Talk to the grandchildren whose grandparents were seized as hostages. And please stop calling this a retaliation. This is a defensive measure against an organization that is committed to one thing: killing Jews, not a peaceful resolution of a conflict, but murdering Jews. And if you're wondering if I'm exaggerating, please, I beg of you, everyone watching and everyone at this network, just watch the footage.
If you enjoyed this video, please smash that thumbs up button and leave a comment below. We want to know what you think about these attempts to downplay the evil being done to Israel. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to Americans for Limited Government on YouTube and Rumble. We'll keep you updated with all the latest news and insights.